they'll go out and they'll vote, and they're going to have to go and check their vote by going to the poll and voting that way, because if it tabulates, then they won't be able to do that. So let them send it in and let them go vote. And if their system's as good as they say it is, then obviously they won't be able to vote. If it isn't tabulated, they'll be able to vote. So that's the way it is. And that's what they should do. I don't like the idea of these unsolicited votes. I never did. It leads to a lot of problems. They've got 11 problems already on very small contests, so I'm not happy about it. At the same time, we're in court on a lot of it. We're going to see if it can be stopped. But send in your ballots, send them in strong, whether it's solicited or unsolicited. The absentees are fine. We have to work to get them. You know, it means something. And you send them in, but you go to vote. And if they haven't counted it, you can vote. So that's the way I view it.
Let's talk a little bit about what the president also said just a little while ago about North Carolina's absentee voting system. He said, and I'm quoting him right now, "So let them send it in and let them go vote. And if the system is as good as they say it is, then obviously they won't be able to vote." That sounds like he's actually encouraging people to commit a crime, to vote twice.
I'm sorry, you'll have to read that again.
All right, this is what he said. "So let them send it in and let them go vote. And if the system is as good as they say it is, then obviously they won't be able to vote." That sounds like he's actually encouraging people to commit a crime, to vote twice.
Well, I don't know exactly what he was saying, but it seems to me what he's saying is he's trying to make the point that the ability to monitor this system is not good. And if it was so good, if you tried to vote a second time, you would be caught if you voted in person.
That would be illegal if they did that. If somebody mailed in a ballot and then actually showed up to vote in person, that would be illegal.
I don't know what the law in the particular state says.
You can't vote twice.
Well, I don't know what the law in the particular state says and when that vote becomes final.
Is there any state that says you can vote twice?
Well, there's some, maybe that you can change your vote up to a particular time. I don't know what the law is, so I'm not going to offer.
He was saying test the system.
If you know what he's saying, why are you asking me what he's saying?
He doesn't believe in the mail-in voting. You're the Attorney General of the United States.
Why does
So, wait a minute. So now we can vote twice. Wait a minute. Is that okay? No, we can't. You cannot vote by mail and then on election day go in to a polling and vote again. No matter what he is saying, that is illegal. The fact that he actually even said that, there is illegalness in just that. And if you actually do it, you just might go to jail. There is nothing about that. Not only will your vote be denied and invalid, but you alone just not only may have a fine, but you might serve time due to the fact that you listened to him. Do not do that.
Bookmobile.
Got any Joyce Carol Oates?
Nope, it's all Danielle Steele.
We went from voting by mail is some type of fraud to now, if you do it, go test to see if your ballot is gonna actually be processed. You can't. Most states will not even start counting mail-in ballots until the actual election day. So you can't even test that to see how that is true. There is nothing about what he is saying is showing is true. There are states that are both Democratic and Republican that actually do mail-in ballots and have been doing it for quite some time, who have actually come forward and said that there are no evidence of mail-in voting by fraud. There is no evidence in that. And yet, even with that, he is still stating that there is. He has always voted by mail, and he is currently voting by mail, along with Mike Pence, Jared and Ivanka, Melania, Mike Pompeo, Kayleigh McEnany, Bill Barr. Just the list goes on and on within his administration, those that he's associated with, and yet he has personally have went out in Republican states and said that you can go ahead and vote by mail.
So Florida's got a great Republican governor, and it had a great Republican governor. It's got Ron DeSantis, Rick Scott, two great governors. And over a long period of time, they've been able to get the absentee ballots done extremely professionally. Florida is different from other states.
And you can call in an absentee ballot however you choose to say it, because there's really no difference. Absentee ballot only means that you request it, and voting by mail in regards to how they want to do it during a pandemic is if you are registered, they will actually just send you a ballot. That is not what he wants, because that means more people will actually do so. Again, it is a pandemic. You are the president. If anything, what you would want is more mass people to not be counter-interacting.
Them's fighting words.
Them's fighting words.
I dare you to step over this line.
Okay, I'm a steppin'.
I dare you to step over this one.
You don't want that. What you want is for that to actually, you should be the first person. This should have been your suggestion. That, hey, why don't we just send the ballots to anyone who's a registered person? Hey, that's a good idea, Trump. That's good. That's good. No, wait a minute. His fear is that if more people vote, more people will not vote for him. That says a lot about his character, more so than about yours. That doesn't mean that you're going to vote by fraud. That just means that he's fearful for who he is as a person, and that's what's going to happen. There is no evidence in regards to people voting by mail is going to lead to a mass amount of fraud. But what it will lead to, that there's shown evidence, is clearly that if more people vote by mail, then there will be less people that will catch COVID-19 due to the fact that there's no one there. If you want to talk about voter fraud, he is the definition of voter fraud. He has voted this year alone in Florida. He lives at 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. That's not in Florida. That is not in Florida. 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue is where the President of the United States resides.
Mail-in ballots for voting.
I think mail-in voting is horrible.
You voted by
It's
mail
corrupt.
in Florida's election last month, didn't you?
Sure, I could vote by mail for that.
How do you reconcile
Because I'm
that?
allowed to. Well, that's called out of state. You know why I voted? Because I happen to be in the White House and I won't be able to go to Florida to vote.
What's the difference between mailing within
well, there's a
state or
big
mailing
difference
outside
between
state?
somebody that's out of state and does a ballot and everything sealed, certified, and everything else. You see what you have to do with the certification.
Whether he is going to get reelected or he is out at the beginning of 2021, that is where he resides. And yet, he voted this year in March, at the earliest, I believe, in Florida. That is the definition. If you are not in the right state, if you are not in the right county, voter fraud. No matter if you go to the polling or you choose to vote by mail, just vote. Register now and vote. Just vote. But don't do it twice.
Very crucial line from the president's remarks. If it is not tabulated, meaning your mail-in vote, then you will be able to vote in person. If it is not tabulated. This is why
there are at least 5 states in this country that do not count any mail-in votes until Election Day. So those votes won't be counted until afterwards.